Again, EVs. I'm starting to feel so sorry for them. We need them to sell. We don't need these people to keep talking rubbish. That's the last thing we need. It's them that are spoiling things. If we'd have just sold them as we should have done on features and benefits right from the start, we'd have probably been at the same place now with an actual swell, the tide going with EVs. Naturally, not having to push against resistance all the time. Just stop lying. Stop lying. Are people psychic these days? How did they know a month before, when the Autotrader graph spiked, that they were going to introduce a grant? I just wish we could go back and have a clean start, do it again. Because some of the propaganda that's coming out, not only does it sound ridiculous to any sensible person, it also looks ridiculous and makes these people look stupid, in my opinion. I'm going to preface my observation with a story. I have one very good friend, sadly, another one died far, far too early. I think he was 33 when he went. And this is going back many, many years. Him and his brother, both in the gym every day, both as fit as anything. And we used to call them the Dangerous Brothers because they were so competitive. Not just about girls, but shooting, weightlifting, you name it, anything, cars, they were so competitive. And one day we were in a pub, somehow it got round to a competition of holding a stool at arm's length to see who could hold the bar stool the longest, which was a feat in itself. But it ended up with them both screaming in agony, holding it up before the other one dropped it. Now, then, the bit that's going on to my story, they used to kind of scuffle like brothers, not proper fights, but scuffles. And anyway, the fair's in town, goes to the fair, and there's one of those punch bags where you hit it as hard as you can, goes up and it gives you a score. So, my friend had the first go, and honestly, if he hit you, you knew about it. You really did. He hit the punch ball, and he got a fantastically high score. You know how it goes up and it keeps going and it keeps going, and then it starts slowing down, a bit like when you're charging your EV battery, and gets nearly to the top, and then the bell goes. His brother was bigger than him, so his brother stepped back to hit the punch ball with all his might. As he came forward, putting all his weight behind it, his shoes were a bit slippy. So he slipped sideways, then ended up missing the punch ball and just catching it with the edge of his elbow. And it went 9. So from then on, every time they had an argument and they're like facing off, and his brother's going, I'm gonna, and my mate used to say to him, "You're gonna what? You're gonna 9 me?" So 9, that was it. But even 9 is more than this. It's so pathetic. I'll just show you. Let me read it out. I mean, you know, this could just be me, but now I have a real down on Autotrader. I really do, as you probably can tell. So Autotrader Insight here. They've got 15,912 followers. While we wait for confirmation on which models will qualify for the UK Electric Car Grant, ECG, that's what EV sales need, an ECG, to see if they're still alive, to see if the heart's still working, because it ain't. Many brands aren't standing still. They're launching their own. But what's the impact? Now, funnily enough, although this Leap Motors is Stellantis are involved, they're still Chinese, aren't they? And as I keep saying, why do these people keep blowing sunshine up the Chinese automakers' backsides? It's embarrassing to me. It really is embarrassing. And the thing is, as I'll show you later, they know very well what's happening with the Chinese EVs. They've got all the data. They keep telling you, work off data. And yeah, you work off the data. Well, I've got you work off the data. I'll show you your own data. But what's the impact? Since introducing their own grant, Leapmotor has seen a surge in interest, plus 356% increase in advert views for the C10, plus 188% for the TO3. So there you go. There's the first graph look. Advert views per car. Now, note 10. It's not even, they're not even a 9. But you see, they don't, and there you go, June, July. What, is that the start of July? Is it the middle of the July? Is that the, you know, the middle of July can only come after July, can't it? It can't come this side. When I started in sales, to help me visualize everything, I used to do a bar graph. Bar graph of my targets, bar graph of which cars I needed to sell to split, and put where I had to get to. So I could see at a glance. I didn't have to keep working out, I've done this, this and this. I used to do a bar graph, fill a square in at a time when I sold each model and when I sold cumulative amounts. So there you go. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. And that's just gone over 40. So they've done well with their axes, haven't they? You know, they've done really, really well there. June there, then July. Then we'll go to the next one. Searches per car. They've just managed to like cover it up here, but 100, 200, 300, 400. You know, I mean, why have a picture of a car there just where your axis is? But you 200 would be about there, 300 about there. Searches per car. I mean, to be honest, I'm absolutely underwhelmed at that. That's kind of all it says. So I went into ChatGPT. This is what, since introducing their own grant, I just put in what they said. Leapmotor has seen a surge in interest, blah, blah, blah. If these statements are correct, please analyse these two photographs and tell me how many views they were getting before and how many they're getting now. Based on the first graph, advert views per car. C10, white line. Before the grant, early June, 6 advert views per car. Peak, early July. Well, it has to be early July, doesn't it? Because that's July there. But they've not put a mark exactly where. But peak early July, 42 advert views per car. This represents a 600% increase, which is even higher than the stated 356%, suggesting that the 356% figure may refer to an average increase over a time period rather than the peak. Even ChatGPT can't understand this graph. It means nothing, does it? There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. Numbers. TO3 red line before the grant early June. 5 advert views per car. What are you going to do, 9 me? Peak early July. 14.5 advert views per car. This is a 190% increase, which closely aligns with the stated 188%. Conclusion, the claim of a plus 356 for the C10 seems conservative when compared to the peak shown in the graph. The plus 188% for the TO3 is accurate and supported by the data. So ChatGPT can't make head nor tail of this graph. The second graph shows searches per car and gives us another view of rising interest in the Leapmotor C10 and TO3. C10 white line, before the grant early June, 360 searches per car. Peak late June, 620 searches per car. That's a 72% increase in search volume. TO3 red line, before the grant early June, 330 searches per car. Peak early July, 620 searches per car. That's an 88% increase in search volume. The advert views increases are much more dramatic than the search increases, suggesting that those who search were far more likely to engage with the listings once the grant was introduced. Could you split the two graphs into days of the month too, please? I don't know how it's worked that out, but you'll see there, daily advert views, it's showing the peak in June, and then it just drops. Here's the graph showing daily advert views per car for the Leapmotor C10 white and the TO3 red. From June 1st, it clearly illustrates a sharp rise in C10 views starting around June the 15th, peaking early, July, 42 views a day. TO3 also climbs steadily, peaking around mid-June, 15 views per day, then levels off. Now I'll do the same breakdown for the searches per car. Second original image. And you'll see there, well, you might be able to see, I'm going to have to lean a bit closer because it's only little on my screen. June the 1st, and then it goes up between June the 20th and June the 30th. And July, it's like a ski slope going down. Here's a graph showing daily searches per car for the Leapmotor C10 white and TO3 red from June 1st to mid-July. C10 searches surged to 620 on day 19, June the 19th, before steadily declining. TO3 searches climbed more gradually, peaking around day 26, June 26, also at 620. Both show clear peaks after the likely introduction of the Leapmotor grant. Leapmotor jumps government electric car grant by slashing prices with own scheme. July the 18th. While uncertainty remains over whether Chinese-made cars will qualify for the government's new electric grant, Leapmotor has decided to take matters into its own hand. The Stellantis-backed Chinese car maker has introduced its own Leap grant to bypass the government scheme from today, July the 18th. Leapmotor has slashed prices across its two-car range, matching the predicted value of the ECG. It means that the TO3 City car is now the UK's cheapest car at 14,495. Well, it doesn't mean that at all, because the actual cheapest car, which is supposed to be, what, 14,950 or something, the Dacia Spring, they can't sell that, so they're discounting that by thousands and thousands of pounds already. So it's not the cheapest car, so why put that? That's when they've discounted it now. So why don't you say what the Dacia is when that's discounted? Because it doesn't tell such a good story about Chinese vehicles, does it? Yeah? But also, are people psychic these days? Or like Paul Newman said in that film, are people physic? How did they know a month before, when the Autotrader graph spiked, that they were going to introduce a grant? Just doesn't make sense to me, honestly. And the more I look, the more, well, I won't say lies, and the reason I won't say lies is because I don't want to get into trouble. I don't really like arguing with people. I don't like being confrontational, but I must have the truth. I've got to have the truth. I can't back down from it. So the government grant was introduced on the 15th of July. That's July the 10th there. According to ChatGPT, somebody out there might know differently. Perhaps even Autotrader, if they've got the proper graph with actual dates on, instead of just something that looks like somebody's just drawn it. Because that's what it looks like. It's very unprofessional. And when we're dealing with the future of the motor trade, get your fucking figures and your graphs right. That's the least you could do with dealers paying you thousands of pounds a month. The least you could do is get shit right. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.